Hi guys, welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 23rd of February 2021. Apologise for not being able to get any videos out sooner. Just been very busy. I'm going to do a quick rundown on the usual suspects. There won't be a lesson on the Euro JPY at the end of this video. Hopefully tomorrow going forward I'll be able to get back to the usual daily updates, but we'll see how we go. But like I said, I've just been very busy, so I've just not been able to get around to doing these updates. Usually my schedule's changed slightly, so let me just go back to the daily so I can show you where we're at with the daily. So we had this nice price response which we've gone through many times. If you don't know what we're talking about, just go back to the previous episodes. Nice run. Okay, we picked up some more liquidity here, starts to run some more. We need to offload somewhere, so we've got this area up here where ultimately I believe price is going to go. And I think we're ready for that last final push now into this area. Okay, and I have a pending order or study. Okay, and this is not trade advice, guys. So I've said many times I'm not licensed to give trade advice. It's never been about that. This is all for educational purposes only. Okay, and I've said that many times. Okay, so I have a pending order down here at 122. Sorry, 121.28 with a stop down here just below this low, and obviously the target's up here at 122. There's an area here which I've made a note of with this red box, which is ultimately where I think price is going to tag. So I'm going to leave that pending order open, see what happens during London. So I'll just leave this through basically. We're not that far off this. It's currently about 20 past 8. See the time up here. Look, this is GMT time. It's currently about 20 past 8. So markets are quite slow now. So I think we just drift during Asia. Excuse me. It picks up the order, hopefully, and then we get a nice drive during London. To take out the liquidity up here, offload some of those positions on this pick up here and pick up here, and then hopefully. Wednesday high of the week, and it starts to dip off once it's tagged that 122. So we'll see how we fare. The pound USD, we finally tagged this area up here. Somebody sent me an email, so I'm going to address this now very, very quickly, saying, if you knew price was going to go up here, why didn't you bother taking along? Because that's not the way that I trade. Yeah. In this particular instance, that's not what I was looking for. Obviously, I was reiterating this throughout the episodes, and I was trying to make it as clear as possible. I did say with the pound USD, if I find an opportunity to take this on the way up, then I will, but ultimately I was looking for a fade. But again, it all depends on how price moves in and out of these levels, how price is moving on the day, because I'm very clinical about watching price in that moment. It's not just about, well, price is, I believe price is going up here, so I may as well just jump in. I want to make sure that I'm on the right side of the trade, or giving myself the best possible chance of being on the right side of of a trade. So I'm very methodical about what I want to see. So I just wanted to kind of address that, because it's don't ever fall into the trap, as beginning traders do often, of thinking, well, once you get to that point where where price is going most of the time, you can just do what you want. You simply can't, because you've got so many other factors that you have to address. I'm not going to say psychology. It is a big factor, but the trade is it, basically. I say this many times. We're the ones that are responsible, and we're the ones that break or make a system, or break or make a methodology. So if you're patient, for me, taking, say, a trade there on that little bit here, for example, and making 20 pips, or taking it up here on a fade and taking 20 pips, it makes absolutely no difference which one you take, as long as you're taking 20 pips. Yeah, but the difference between the two is which one's the safest bet, which one's the safest trade, which one is the one that gives you the most confidence, which one do you feel more confident in taking based on your own analysis, which one fits with your profile, which one fits with your psychological makeup, and so on and so on. So it's all relative to you as the trader. Yeah, it's not just, well, I believe price is going there, so it doesn't really matter, I'm going to throw everything out the window and just go for it. But we've finally arrived at this area. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'll keep an eye on this on the hourly, because as you can see, the way it got here was quite lethargically. It kind of just ground up there, and then when it finally got there, look at the release. here. It gets up there and it just a little bit of relief, and it's just been grinding sideways, maintaining and holding, and then it drops here, takes out the liquidity here, and then it reverses and then snaps straight up. This is not a good sign for a fade. Do you see what I mean? So as I said, I know what I'm looking for. I know what I want to see. This is not what I want to see for a fade. Yeah, so I'm just being patient. I'm going to take a step back. I'm just going to chill, you know. And then if I do see what I want to see, we take it from there. All right. So I'm going to keep an eye on this tomorrow on the hourly. What I would like to see, just to kind of give you a heads up, is I'd like to see pretty much all of this reversed. Yeah, so I'd like to see price rip to the upside, stay within this area up here where the liquidity is, eat into it a little bit, pick up some sell liquidity, and then reverse, and then take out these lows and start to drive lower. And if it does do that, then I would expect this low here to be tagged. Yeah, specifically this low here. Yeah, and I'm telling you now before it happens, this low specifically. Yeah, not down here, not down here, or these or this one. This low specifically. All right. The pound Japanese yen still on track, still looking good. Want to see that? I want to see this week finish here, basically strong. Yeah, if that happens, the following week's going to be perfect for a specific trade that I want to take. But just judging by the way that this is kind of lethargically grinding, I'd like, you know, I'm going to need something pretty spectacular. And it's not the pound that's going to do this for us. It's going to be the Japanese yen. We need something to happen with the Japanese yen, right, to push this up here. So, you know, we're going to have to just be patient and wait and see. But, you know, we know what we want to see on this. I've mentioned it many times. So we'll wait. We'll just, you know, we'll wait, we'll monitor, and we'll just be patient. Pound Aussie dollar, again, not really happening for us. We want to see these lows taken out convincingly now. It did tag it slightly, but I want to see this line broken convincingly, and I want to see a drive lower, so I know that it's going for these lows down here in some meaningful way. And if that happens, then there's something that we can tag on the way down. USD Japanese yen, again, I'm going to zoom out one more, and I do the zoom, guys, specifically. Yeah, so I will have charts zoomed out or zoomed in relative to how interested I am in the particular pair that I'm looking at. Yeah, because it's just a way for me to be able to monitor what I'm doing, you know, when I'm doing these studies. So, and it helps me basically when I'm doing the videos as well. But there's nothing happening on this, so I'm going to leave the chart as is. The USD CAD, I was looking at this on the 4 hour. I do like this, but when you look at it on the daily, the daily's looking good. Let me show you something. So I'll show you on the weekly. Okay, so on the weekly chart, all right, we can see that we are grinding lower, and I do firmly believe now that we're going down here. Okay, so that's all great, fine. Here's my issue. Yeah, you look at the daily and you say, okay, look, we're having a nice slow bleed down there, right? And we are probably going to end up down here, maybe at some point this week. But here's my issue in terms of entry. You look at the hourly, okay? Okay, so from the 21st, you've got the Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Look what price is doing, basically. Yeah, and if I just kind of scrunch this up a little bit, just so you can kind of really emphasize this, we're stuck in a pretty tight range, right? It's not really doing much. It went up, it's drifted lower. Okay, it went up, it reversed and drifted lower. Okay, so stuff like this I don't like, especially with the USD CAD, because this happens quite frequently on USD CAD. I know where price is going. I'm going to say this openly. I know where price is going on the USD CAD. My issue is, do you know how many times I've seen USD CAD and I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, I know, higher time frame, you know, here's the level. I'm confident it's going to go there. And then it rips up here, okay, takes out all the liquidity, and you're thinking, what in the world? And then it just reverses and then starts to go lower, and it hits the level that you're expecting. It's very difficult sometimes to get into USD CAD. It has been nicknamed loony for a reason, yeah? So you have to be very cautious when you're trading this pair. There are some people that are specialists in this pair. I had the good fortune of meeting one person who's very good at trading this pair. I am not a professional on this pair. Yeah, the Euro USD and the pound USD, mainly the pound USD. That's where I'm at. But this particular pair, okay, like I said, I'm very specific about what I want to see generally in my trading, but he's very good. Like, he knows this pair inside out, and he pairs it with oil analysis, crude analysis, some other things that's going on in in Canada and so on and so forth. So His analysis is next level, but for me, just based on my analysis and my experience in the marketplace, you know, this pair does some pretty crazy stuff. So I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait. And if I find an opportunity to do a study trade on this, then obviously I will. But until I see something that makes perfect sense to me, for example, a nice drive up here, specifically, just to be really clear, so you know there's no misunderstandings and anybody saying, oh yeah, but you don't really show us beforehand, specifically here. So if price rips up to this area here and challenges this area here, okay, I'll just extend this so we know where we're at. So challenges this area up here. That's what I'd want to see. I'd want to see price come up here, you know, somewhere around here, and then start to drift lower. And if it basically rips up, comes down somewhere around here, then I'd be interested in doing something with this. But until that happens, if it just drifts lower or, you know, just starts to bleed lower, I can't do anything with that. Like I said, very specific what I want to see in the pairs that I trade. So the gold did come very, very close. I did pull the trigger on the coin because it was close enough for me, to be honest. In terms of, you know, the spot price in dollars and pound currency price in terms of grams, you know, pounds, sorry, cost per gram, it's neither here or there. You're talking pennies. So I did buy the coin at a price that was very competitive. I was very happy with that price, and then obviously whatever happens to gold now at this point, I'm not really that bothered. If it continues to just grind sideways, great. Obviously, in the long term, I believe gold is going higher. I am going to zoom out a little bit now on gold. If it does start to grind or bleed lower a little bit, that wouldn't be a bad thing. But in the end, like I said, I was waiting for something quite specific on gold, 1750. It did come very close to that, and relative to the price that I was looking for in terms of the equivalent, in the pound currency per gram for the cost of the coin that I was looking to buy, it made sense. So I'm very happy with the analysis that I've done on this. The silver. Had a nice little pop on silver recently. It's dipped off a little bit, and when I say a nice little pop, I'm talking about, it's showing a little bit of movement. Yeah, a little bit of movement. I've been tracking this obviously every day, showing a little bit of movement. I have not dropped down. When you guys see this chart, you only see the monthly. I've not dropped down from the monthly chart, but I monitor this on the weekly, the daily, and sometimes the 4 hour. And obviously, I see the pip difference when it moves. I track the silver. Sorry, I track the metals a lot. Palladium as well. Platinum, and copper. So, I believe silver at some point, and I don't know when, but I believe silver at some point is going to be, a nice little mover. So, I think I did some studies on silver about 3-4 months ago, and based on everything that I'm seeing, the answer that I came up with in my head was $35 on silver. But again, don't quote me on that. It's just a number that made sense to me at the time when I was looking at the charts and doing the analysis that I was doing, looking at some other factors. But we'll see what happens. Again, as I keep saying, guys, when we see the move on silver, we're going to know about it. So that's it. That's the analysis on the pairs. Obviously, we'll keep an eye on this Euro USD. If it gets tagged, great. If it doesn't, then whatever. And again, these are study trade, guys. It's not there for people to follow along. It's purely for study. It's purely for education. And I've reiterated this many times. If you study and you watch and you pay attention and you follow through, and in the analysis that I'm doing on these pairs, you will learn something. This is why I do it in this way and in this sequence, and I use the same pairs over and over again, because it's very difficult for me to change what I say, and it's very difficult for me to manipulate the analysis that I do to me, for me to look good, or for me to sound like I know what I'm talking about. It's very hard for me to do that. The results speak for themselves. So, I'm gonna continue to do them. And I'm hoping obviously that the videos are welcomed, and that they're making a difference in people's trading. And with that said, I'm going to leave it at that. I am going to go and get myself some sleep because I have to get up extremely early tomorrow. I hope everybody's well, hope everybody's safe, and I will catch up with you hopefully in tomorrow's update, where I will be doing, if I can get a chance to do it tomorrow, guys, I'll do a quick update on the Euro JPY, and look forward to speaking to you then. Keep an eye out for the new playlist that will be uploaded very soon. Take care.